What has been the significance of Trung's period of rule?
Well, I think it's very important to note the context of Trọng rise in Vietnamese politics. What he has been doing until his death was trying to strengthen the party rule, especially by rooting out corruption within the party. And secondly, I think it's very important to note that despite the fact that he's kind of like a strongman leader like Xi Jinping in China, he didn't really intervene into foreign policy or economic policies. It also achieved great successes, especially in balancing the great power rivalry between China and US, and also extending Vietnam free trade agreements with a lot of countries. So I think there is kind of like a mixed legacy during Trump's rule.
What about other areas such as political rights, freedom of expression? What is Trung's legacy in those areas?
In the past 10 years under his rule, I think Vietnam has becoming, kind of like more China-like environment in terms of media and civil society control, where actually we have less press freedom and less freedom on the internet. Although Vietnam, we have more crackdown on activities which were considered as like safe area, like environmentalism and labor rights movement.
What's been your sense of the reaction among everyday people in Vietnam to his death?
I think Nguyen Phu Trong was a really popular politician in Vietnam, not least because he was seen as a very clean and very dedicated politician. So if you come to Vietnam at the moment, or you just go around the social media in Vietnam, there is an outpouring of grief over his death. And for now, I think nearly 100,000 people came to Hanoi or came to Ho Chi Minh City to attend the funeral and to show their respect to Nguyen Phu Trọng. There is also the concern among the population in Vietnam. They worry that the next generation of leadership would not, stand up to the standard of Nguyen Phu Trọng, would not be as clean as Nguyen Phu Trọng.
Well, on that point, from your point of view, what do you see as being the next steps for the Communist Party in Vietnam?
I think it's very important that Nguyen Phu Trọng passed away midterm, so he didn't really have a really strong plan for succession, which is very important because, as you know, in one-party regime like Vietnam, succession plays a really important role in upholding the resilience and the stability of the regime. Which I think would be a very uncertain period in Vietnamese politics where internal infighting might continue. But I think more to come because it's very important to note that it's still very new. And for the past week, the leadership in Vietnam only focused totally on the funeral of Nguyen Phu Trong. And so after this week, they might have to think about the new leadership transition, how to negotiate the balance of power among different factions. And I think that's very important for the future of Vietnam because they will define what Vietnam will look like in the next decade.